Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. When it comes to the future of Warzone 2, we actually already have a surprising amount of information and details when it comes to some of the major map updates in the future, whether it is various leaks and rumors from some pretty trusted sources in the community, or if it's actually official details that the devs have actually sort of teased via the various dev calls that I've had a chance to sit in on. So today I wanted to break down pretty much all the certain leaks and rumors and confirmations and teases that we have for the future of Warzone 2 maps. Let's start with some of the more broad ones. We know for a fact that this fall we are going to be seeing a brand new large Battle Royale map. This could potentially run alongside Almas. It could potentially replace Almas, like what we've seen happen in the past, where Verdansk 84 replaced Verdansk, Caldera replaced Verdansk 84. So we're not really too sure what exactly the specifics are there, but regardless, this fall we should be seeing a new map. And currently, all things are pointing towards it being the Almas map. Now, we've talked about this one a handful of times before. It was discovered back during the campaign period of MW2 that actually in a mission in the campaign, on a desk you can find what appears to basically be the full-on layout of the Los Almas Warzone map, where you can actually see what is essentially the overhead view, the bird's eye map down view, just like what we'd have for Verdansk or Caldera or Almas. And you can actually spot certain ground war locations on this already. Santacenia border crossing, the ground war, the battle map variant of it is found on this map. I believe Guajaro is also spotted on this map as well. So this would line up with basically everything we know about the next Warzone map, in the form of it also taking place in a major element of the MW2 story, and it featuring certain maps and certain locations from other aspects of the game, in this case multiplayer with the battle maps. Now, the Ghost of Hope, who is a very solid insider and leaker when it comes to some COD information, also recently posted this tweet, sort of sparking some conversation as to what else we might see return, since we already have a couple of different MW2 locations on this map confirmed. What other old COD 4, MW2, or MW3 throwback locations could we see on a Los Almas map? Obviously, on Almas already, we've got Rust, we've got Afghan, we've got Terminal, several other throwback maps as well. So more than likely, it's going to repeat here in Los Almas. Hope seems to think that Favela is almost a guarantee there, especially because Favela is actually a leaked map in the multiplayer map list prior to the game launching, and several of the other maps that were also on that same list are now in the game or have been in the game since launch. So definitely some validity there, and adding some credibility to those previous leaks that certainly would indicate that Los Almas is going to feature several different throwback locations as well, which could be very interesting. Now, you also might recall that a couple of weeks back we talked about a major leak for Activision. There was like sort of this internal data breach that ended up leaking what is essentially the entire 2023 roadmap, breaking down the very broad details of these seasons coming for the remainder of MW2's first year of content, including, you know, how many different maps we'd have for 6v6, new battle pass, 70 different bundles, a couple of weapons, so on and so forth. And for the season 4 slot on this leak, there was actually the listing of a brand new small map. Now, this would likely be in late May or early June, depending on any other potential delays in the time shift that we already have to have taken into consideration because of the delay for season 2. But this new small map likely going to be a brand new Resurgence map. And we know that Beanox and High Moon are already developing a secondary map that is not Ashika Island, because that's obviously already out, and there's been some talk of that in the community previously based on some other leaks, some other rumors as well. So not only in the fall would we have that Los Almas map dropping, but then potentially in just a couple months time we'll see a secondary Resurgence map going live as well. So a lot of map updates in a relatively short period of time, which, I mean, hey, that's definitely good news if you look back at Warzone 1, because oftentimes back during the initial era of that, it was a lot of waiting around saying, man, you know, Verdansk, even, you know, Verdansk OG version, by the end of it, a lot of players are sitting there saying, we need a new map, please, we need a map update. And that's when they dropped Verdansk 84. Then towards the end of that, it's like, man, we've been playing this for almost 2 years now, we need a new map, please give us a new place to play. Then we drop Caldera, then everyone wishes they didn't say that they needed a new map. But you know, I digress. Warzone 1 had a lot of waiting time in between maps. That doesn't seem to be the case based off of these leaks and based off of these rumors so far. Now, we also have some further specifics on some other physical map updates coming to potentially Ashika Island, to the new small Resurgence map when that drops, to Almas right now, and maybe even the Los Almas map in the future as well, because the devs have actually talked about and teased several gameplay updates regarding the map that they are working on and have planned sometime in the pipeline. It could be in just a couple of updates from now, you know, maybe season 3 reloaded, season 4. It could be further on down the line. The time frame here we just don't know, but it does seem like the devs are actively pursuing things that really have been highly requested for quite some time. We're talking a night mode, we're talking dynamic weather, and all sorts of details like that. So as we get into this conversation, quick reminder, if you're new here, feel free to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all things going on in COD. And if you guys enjoy the video, let me know by dropping a like on it as well. Would be seriously appreciated. But let's focus on night mode here specifically. This is actually something that we've seen done in Warzone a couple of different times, most notably back during the OG Haunting of Verdansk event, where we got the complete 180 shift of Verdansk where it took place at night. Now, obviously, we also had like the whole Zombie Royale mode, in my opinion, the GOAT LTM for Warzone. But the night version of Verdansk, absolutely awesome. It completely changes the entire dynamic of the map, what you want to run. Obviously, thermal sights are huge when it's dark out because it's much harder to spot players. The lighting is entirely different for how you want to rotate. You can really rotate under the cover of darkness, even though there might not be no world physical cover there with you know, trees or barricades and stuff like that. You have a lot more freedom, I guess you could say, to rotate more carelessly because it's going to be harder to see. I thought it was really cool. And already this year in Spec Ops, we have night variants of some of the missions where you are playing with your NVGs on. It is at night and it's hard to see on Almas, so the tech is already there. It's already in the game for certain elements and certain aspects of the map, so it's only a matter of time until we reach that point in the pipeline where it's officially ready to release. Also, going back to that data breach, they mentioned that during the season 6 or maybe season 5 time period, whatever they end up officially going with, if we have 5 or 6 seasons, doesn't matter too much, but towards the end of the year in the fall, on that sort of 2023 roadmap, there was listed the Haunting of Saba event, aka our next Haunting / Halloween event, which would be a prime time to debut that sort of Nightfall Al-Mazrah map. Hence why I say it could happen a little bit sooner if they wanted to drop it, but it could also happen, you know, a few seasons down the road to fit the sort of fall and Halloween and spooky theme. Either way, could be a very cool update. Going sort of hand in hand with a day to night cycle though is dynamic weather, and in our most recent call with the developers, they straight up said, yeah, it's something we are looking into, it's something we're interested in doing. It's not necessarily going to be coming right here in the near future, but it's something we have you know, again, in the pipeline. So it is something they're looking to do at some point in time. This again could be much further down the road, maybe for the year 2 content with the new Los Almas map or whatever else ends up happening in between now and then. But dynamic weather, we're already starting to see some kind of hints towards it, if you will. If you were to look at Ashika Island on DMZ versus Ashika Island in Battle Royale, there are some subtle differences in how thick the fog is and how some of the lighting works in certain areas. They also described that specifically in our dev call as well, highlighting the fact that the weather and the elements there are a little bit different. So we could potentially in the future be seeing some huge map updates to Al-Mazrah, to Ashika Island, to the other Resurgence map, to Los Almas, to feature a match that takes place during a thunderstorm, a nice super sunny nice day, you know, a match that takes place overcast, a match that takes place at night. We could see all sorts of different updates here, similar to how we saw sort of the Rebirth map back in Warzone 1 evolve with a lot of its lighting. We had overcast, we had super sunny, we had sunset. This would just be taking that to the extreme with much more in-depth changes and game-changing updates, which again, I think could be very cool. So when you look into this all under one specific microscope here in terms of all the map updates, we have a lot sort of on the map roadmap, if you will, for lack of a better word. Could be that we have a lot of different map updates coming here in the next few seasons time. Of course, as anything becomes official, as we get any new information on this stuff, I'll be sure to keep you guys updated with that alongside everything else going on in COD. So feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. And if you guys enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it as well. But that is going to wrap things up for this one. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.